Hello everyone, Quick Flicks is with you, and the 6th episode of the Amazing Digital Circus has already been released, which shows us Jax from an even less pleasant side than before, because he suddenly pushes away Remember, ridicules her hopes, and even says that he will calmly forget about her if she dissipates.
What would you do if I abstracted tomorrow?
I'd move on, and probably forget about you.
But what if I tell you that with all his words and actions, the rabbit was trying to save his girlfriend? The animated series clearly hints that Jax is a deeply traumatized person, like everything else in this circus. But the reasons are different for everyone, and the pain also manifests itself in everyone's own way. The video has survived the death of several extremely close people during its time in the game: Ribbit the frog and Kaufma the clown.
Is this why you didn't show up to Kaufma's funeral?
The anger that Jax felt at the sight of his door suggests that he felt quite strong feelings for the clown when he was alive. Kaufma was his friend, with whom they also once ran and had fun, as now Remember. But as a result, emotions and anxiety took over the clown up. He became obsessed with finding a way out of the game and eventually lost his mind and dissipated.
Do you have any actual friends? Not anymore.
But Jax's death, as you can see, does not upset him, but angers him. After all, he feels as if his friend has abandoned him. Instead of continuing to have fun in a stupid game, he went into these f***ing introspections, which ruined him.
You don't even know him! You don't even know what people are like before they abstract! They are not pleasant to be around!
Have you ever wondered why Jax is always having fun and teasing everyone? Because it's his archetype? Because it's a game? No, everything is a little deeper.
I didn't think you cared about what other people like.
No, yeah, you're right, I don't.
When the rabbit first got into the digital circus, he, like everyone else, was worried and explored the usual moral foundations.
But we're still
human,
people,
right?
Though.
That's
right?
what I thought at first.
I thought we
too.
were at first, but...
Once he was on the spot, Remember. But as he says himself, he consciously became the same merry fellow that we see now.
Not yet. We all just became archetypes. I at least have the self-awareness to choose who I am.
But the archetypes he's talking about don't really exist. The circus doesn't transform people into toons as he thinks. Well, outwardly it turns, but inside they remain the same people, personalities with their past character and a whole heap of problems. Ragatha is not just an optimist because she hides emotions behind a smile. Gangle is not just a crybaby because she really wants to smile. The king is not just a madman, he is a wise man with a difficult fate. Teeth are not just a grouch, but also a good friend, always ready to support. The epithet alone is not enough to describe them. They are mostly gloomy or sad because of their psychological problems and the current situation, and not because of the magical transformations of the circus. And all this does not fit into the usual ideas about archetypal characters. Only Jax himself consciously decided to become a character, because this is already his form of self-defense. Having clearly seen the process of gradual dispersion of players, the video made a quite natural conclusion for itself that emotions and feelings gradually drive you crazy, which is why you eventually dissipate. And that's why Jax decided to completely abandon them and play the role of a moral freak who doesn't care about anyone and everything.
I do not care about you or anyone else in this circus in the slightest. You are my playthings, and I get joy out of making you suffer.
He avoids responsibility, unnecessary reflections as much as possible, and did not even come to Kaufman's funeral so as not to suddenly show feelings once again.
Yeah, I bet you don't. You're scared. You'll actually show a human emotion.
And the feelings from him are just a punt and a punt, even at the sight of just one photo of him. At the same time, everything is radically different with the Ribbit. After seeing her image, the rabbit showed no longer anger or tears, but a rather strange face, as if he remembered something. With exactly the same look, he stared at his hand, pushing away the memory that embraced him. Again, as if remembering something from the past, listening to what the girl said. During their fight, she notices that the rabbit does not give her back and simply allows himself to be beaten.
Why didn't you fight back?
And with all of this, obviously, another traumatic event from Jax's past is connected. All these details clearly hint to us that the violence he showed somehow led to the death of Ribbit. That is why it is now being recalled in him over and over in the form of PTSD. In addition, it is he who is guilty of Kaufman's death, as hinted by Ragatha.
I know exactly what you're doing with Pomni, and it'll never work!
Huh?
You know, getting close with Pomni to corrupt her.
By saying this, the girl clearly implies that the rabbit is not doing this for the first time. He offers to have fun with might and main, to make fun of everyone, and to score on moral principles. However, sooner or later, emotions take over you. If Jax just gives up on the feelings of the others, then remember, it doesn't come as easily. After a while, Kaufma clearly stopped playing along with Jax and succumbed to feelings, and the rabbit, angry at him for this, just left him and continued to have fun alone, so as not to put himself at risk. The clown at that moment needed the moral support of a friend, but he left him, not wanting to talk about feelings because for him, they became a forbidden fruit. And as a result, having lost the nearest person, Kaufma dissipated. And although Jax tries to convince himself that Kaufma himself is to blame for all this, he did not continue to have fun with him, ignoring emotions as the video told him to do.
To hold on to that part of you that still thinks it's part of that world. But in the end, what does it get you?
However, somewhere deep inside, Jax realizes that it is he who was to blame for its dispersion. And when Remember called the rabbit her friend, it triggered Jax, causing him a whole storm of emotions mixed with his recent memories of Kaufma Ribbit. Feeling guilty for their deaths at that moment, he felt that he should no longer be friends with anyone.
If I shoot you right now, are we still gonna be friends afterwards?
We were never friends.
He doesn't want another person to dissipate because of him when he once again refuses to talk about feelings. He liked it, remember. He had fun with her, and at the same time he does not want to lose her, and at the same time does not want to take responsibility for another imminent death in this game, which sooner or later will drive everyone crazy. However, the very fact of the appearance of a new friend and this emotional conversation could not but affect Jax. Although he plays the role of a merry villain, but he is still a man. Forever suppressing feelings in yourself, pretending to be a moral freak will not work. Sooner or later, they'll come out, which is what I told him. Remember.
Have you ever thought that this might be what causes people to abstract in the first place?
Jax will do all this to avoid scattering, but in the end, it is his actions that slowly lead him to this. But he, trying to escape, closes only more and more.
There's nothing more to me. So please, just stop looking.
He tries to push away so much that at one point he even laughs at the scattering, only after a few seconds realizing his mistake and trying to make up for it all with a joke. It is because of this that Jax does not want to be friends with Remember so as not to bring upon her the same fate that overtook his former friends. The rabbit already hates himself and therefore asks 3 times to Remember to shoot him. After all, he believes that he deserves it. Obviously, Jax and the Strogots were once close, which they continue to openly hint at.
Did I do something wrong?
You sound like Ragatha right now.
If we follow my previous theory that they are still brother and sister, we can assume that in childhood they always stuck together and supported each other under the yoke of an extremely strict mother. But after going to school and work to escape from her home, she eventually gave up on her brother and in fact abandoned him, for which he still holds a grudge against her.
Well, I don't think anyone in here hates you.
Jax does!
But if they did meet already in the circus, then most likely at one point, Ragatha rejected Jax and preferred a different company.
Just like I failed Jax. I tried too hard to get on their good side, and then I just end up pushing them away. And then they end up hating me.
In addition, this episode confirmed one of the most popular fan theories that Caine was the developer of this game.
It's a butterfly. It can restore your health.
Did Caine mention that?
Oh, nah. I made it up.
It seems to me that because of schizophrenia manifested in real life, the king and his wife decided to move inside the game he created in order to continue living here together while he still retained at least some of his sanity. However, schizophrenia continued to progress here, and his wife, who had to watch her husband's fading mind day after day, eventually dissipated from grief, which hit the coroner even harder. But surprisingly, somehow it was the horn that helped him cope with his experiences.
I couldn't help but hate myself for the things I thought I was responsible for. I thought I'd lost everything. But then you showed up, and my outlook just changed.
In addition, Caine can see photos of the real office from the time when the game was still being developed. And on Jax's gun, you can first notice the full name of the company that created it, Caine and Abel, as fans assumed since the release of the first series. But if Caine is just an artificial intelligence, why was the company named after him? And why is he buggy because of the purest human emotions, upset that no one loves him? I think we will discuss these topics in the future. And that's all for today. Don't forget to like it if you liked the video, watch my past circus videos, and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss the next ones. And Quick Flicks was with you. Thanks for watching, and bye.